Will I be able to find the Blantons out of this double blind, or will this horsey ride off into the sunset to never be found again? Let's find out. What is going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you guys a brand new video. Here on the bar top, we have a sample set sent to us from James, a fantastic supporter of the channel. On the bar top, we have 5 samples. Inside of one of these is Blanton's. The other 4, I have absolutely no idea what they are. He has given me instruction on to find the Blantons and rank these in the order that I like the most. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my best to find the Blantons and also guess what I think the other samples are within this blind. This is going to be super difficult. I can only imagine, I'm not quite sure what any of the other ones are. Some of these might be higher proof, they might be lower proof, they might all be in that 90 to 93 proof. Who freaking knows? Only James does, and I only know what one of them are. But before we get into the drinking and the fun stuff of the video, I gotta thank you guys again for the support of the channel. You guys crushed it last video. If you want your chance to win a bottle of Blanton's, make sure you smash that subscribe button, because one lucky winner is going to be getting their hands on a bottle of Blanton's for free. All you gotta do is smash that subscribe button. Make sure you leave a like as well if you enjoy the content, and leave a comment down below on how well you think I did, or if you think you could have done better than I did. And one more thing, make sure you go check out the Patreon down below. Helps the channel out like you wouldn't believe. If you want your chance to win free stuff, free samples, free glasses, all you got to do for as little as $2 a month is go check out the Patreon. But let's get into the fun stuff. Let's get into the drinking of the video. I'm going to see if I can nose these really quick and find the Blantons. Buffalo Trace has that very distinctive nose, and who knows, maybe these are all Buffalo Trace products. I'm not quite sure, but we're going to get into this, and I'm going to nose these, see if I can pick it out, but most likely not, and we're going to get into the drinking, see if I can pick it out as well. But here we go. All right, so sample 1 here. I've got them numbered on the bottom, just at the end of the video. I know what is what because he's got these sampled numbered as well. So on the nose on sample 1, this is a little bit of an Evan Williams nose right off of the bat. I get a little peanut, but then it's also a little Jim Beam, right? Sorry, Evan Williams and Jim Beam have somewhat similar flavor profiles to me. And this has that Evan Williams peanutty with that Jim Beam kind of a backbone as well. So I'm not going to say that this is the Blantons. I'm going to say that it's Evan Williams. I'm going to write that down. Nose, Evan Williams. All right, let's get into glass 2 here on the nose, see what I can find. This is a very, like, sweet, grainy nose. I'm getting a lot of corn. I'm getting a lot of, like, a straw hay bale. Very interesting on the nose. On the nose, that is so very interesting. It's kind of got a little grain, like single grain in there as well that's coming through. And it's a little hotter as well on the initial nose. I want to say Wild Turkey, but it could also be something like a Woodford. I'm going to say Wild Turkey on the nose. Let's get into sample 3. Sample 3 is opening up more into the Buffalo Trace kind of a profile. But I'm getting a little bit of a chocolate vibe off of this. A little chocolate, a little espresso. I'm not getting Buffalo Trace cherry bomb off of this. What I mostly find, and a lot of you all find on Buffalo Trace, is a cherry bomb with a little bit of a sweeter backbone coming off of it. This is very chocolatey and malty. I'm going to say Woodford on this, because it's not saying to me that it's higher proof. I think these are all going to be similar proofs. I think he didn't really do that to me. So let's see on glass 4 on the nose. Glass 4 has a Buffalo Trace nose. Glass 4 is very Buffalo Tracy. Okay, I'm just going to say right here, glass 4, in my humble opinion, I'm going to say it's the Blantons. I'm just going to say it off of the bat on the nose. I'm guessing it right now. Could be completely different on the palate, but on the nose, saying it's Blanton's. But Glass 5 also has that Buffalo Trace vibe as well. I'm getting a little bit more of like a grapiness. And on grapiness, I get Eagle Rare vibes. And I'm not quite sure if he did that to me. But you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Glass 5. I'm just going right off of the bat. I'm saying it's Eagle Rare. I could be completely wrong. But I'm going something Evan Williams here. Might be Jim Beam product. 2, I'm going with like a Wild Turkey vibe. 3, a Woodford. 4, Blanton's. 5, Eagle Rare. But without further ado, we smelled this way. We're going to taste this way. So here on the palate on sample 5. That is Buffalo Tracy. But it's not very Buffalo Tracy. It's a little hotter. This one might be over that 93 proof that Blanton's is. I could have been completely wrong in that Eagle Rare guess. But I do not think that that is the Blanton's. Let's get into sample 4 here. My initial nose was Blanton's. Let's find out if the palate is Blanton's. That is very sweet. Whatever is in sample 5, the finish is still going. That is wild. I'm still going with Blanton's on the nose. I'm going to say Blanton's on the palate too. That is a very, very Blanton's-y Buffalo Tracy palate. I have to say, I'm going with it. I'm saying it's on the palate as well. I think that sample 4 is the Blanton's. I really do. Let's get into sample 3. Very light. Very, very light. I still find it to be like a Woodfordy kind of a palate. It's very, very reminiscent of Woodford. So I'm going to stick with that. I think that this might be a Woodford product. I really do. Let's go into sample 2. Sample 2's nose opened up so crazily. It's still very, very grain forward. I like it. I do like it a lot. It's definitely a younger bourbon from what I would imagine. So let's get into the palate. Yeah, that's not Blanton's reminiscent. It's very Wild Turkey. It is. I'm sticking with Wild Turkey. I am. And finally, let's get into sample 1 here. All right. Yeah, I'm digging that nose a lot. That's thin. It's thin. It doesn't have much going for it. Has a little bit of a bitterness on the palate. Not really sweet. Not really very like punchy. This is probably the most lackluster of the 5. So yeah, I'm going to say sample 1 is my least favorite. This is 5. I like 5 a lot. I think that this is my order. I think that the 1 and 2 are moving, but 1 is ultimately my least favorite. So we've got samples 1, 3, 5, 4, and my favorite was 2, but the one that I believe is the Blanton's is sample 4, and that is in 2nd place. So inside of this envelope, we are going to find out what is what in these glasses. Very, very intrigued to find out. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so sample number 1 was Bowman Brothers small batch at 90 proof. So it was not Evan Williams whatsoever. Sample number 2. So sample 1 was the Bowman Brothers small batch. That's very interesting. It came in last place. Sample number 2 is the Green River Bourbon at 90 proof. And sample 2 was what, first place? Yeah, very interesting. Green River Bourbon. I have the wheated bourbon. And I'm not quite sure if this is a wheated, if he sent me the wheated one as well. But if it wasn't, I really am very interested in grabbing a bottle of just their regular bourbon offering. Sample number 3 was Ancient Age at 90 proof. Now that is in 4th place. Yes, so 4th place was Ancient Age. And for sample number 4, off of the nose, off of the palate, we got it. Ladies and gentlemen, Blanton's was sample number 4. He wrote it down. I didn't. Surprisingly, I was able to find that. I'm not quite sure why, but hey, it is what it is. And sample number 5 was the John J. Bowman single barrel at 100 proof, and that came in 3rd place. Now, with that, it was 100 proof. It was a hotter. I pictured it to be another Buffalo Trace product, but I thought it was Eagle Rare. But then off of the sip, it was a little bit hotter, and I should have just automatically gone to John J. Bowman at 100 proof, but that wasn't crossing my mind at the moment. That is very, very cool. These are all really good pours. Blanton's itself, I mean, it's talked down on, it's hyped up, it is what it is, but every single bottle of Blanton's is going to be completely different. This one right here could be completely different from this one. This one could be better, this one could be worse, or this one could be better, and this one could be worse. Who freaking knows? Not me, but I'm still surprised I was able to pick up that Buffalo Trace nose and the Buffalo Trace palate. Nonetheless, this was an absolute freaking blast. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, this has been Nathan with the Everyday Drinker. Cheers.